Hello, Giants fans. Welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. A couple things. First of all, I'm sorry that we're running late today. Occasionally that's going to happen. Also, sorry about no video today. Just wanted to get this out here quickly. The Giants lost to the Diamondbacks 2-1 yesterday, and it was on a Logan Webb start. That, as I've mentioned previously, and it's probably one of the most important facts concerning the Giants this season, they can't lose games when Logan Webb's pitching, and that's just like the final word on the subject. I don't know what else you could say about that. I don't know if this is going to surprise anybody, but I really don't think that would be the case if the rotation was as elitely good as we had expected it to be in spring training. And just the way what people were talking about, and they were right in saying the Giants' rotation would have to be one of the best in the game in order for the Giants to succeed. And it's really not one of the best in the game, but they've been hanging in there, surviving. And honestly, that fact is what makes it just not an option for the Giants to lose when Logan Webb's pitching. He was great, by the way. He allowed one run on an RBI double in 7 innings. It wasn't that at all, because Webb pitched great. The Giants didn't get a whole ton of runs on. They got one run, I believe it was in the 4th inning, on Michael Conforto's solo home run. Other than that, though, the bats were quiet. Now, I mentioned that a particular reason why the importance of starting pitching remains undiminished, even with the fact that the Giants have shown the ability to score runs this year, and they can hit homers, and they can start rallies, and they can have a lot of those games where they just score a ton. Well, for one thing, they've had games where they've scored a whole ton and lost anyway. I think most disappointing, it's really what stands out to me for all of this year, that 11-16 loss to the Padres. It was a while ago, but it really stands out to me as a game where the Giants' bats got going and they couldn't win. But on the other hand, this was a game where the bats couldn't get going, and sometimes it's because you're facing a really good starting pitcher. That's going to happen, and that's what happened today. The Giants, however, with Logan Webb's brilliant pitching, hung on until the late innings of the game, and it's just bad, the way they lost, because Tyler Rogers allowed that run in a tied ball game. I'm not one to be deceived by his 2.70 ERA. I don't want to exaggerate the situation and say he's just as bad as any reliever whose ERA was over 500, but Tyler Rogers is not showing the ability to really hold it together in close games, I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm just noticing the games that he's blowing, but it's the second time fairly recently this year when and the other time it was a blown save in the 9th inning. But I mean, this run that he allowed in a game when Logan Webb started, I could put too much emphasis on the situational aspect to remove the possibility that it was just kind of, it happened at a really bad time. I could put too much emphasis on that, but it really can't be overstated that pitchers, and I think relievers in particular, although I don't want to remove the aspect of starting pitching, and you could have a starter could throw a gem, but the critical moment could be his 6th or 7th inning when there are runners on. I don't want to remove that at all. I just think especially for relief pitchers, their ability to pitch situationally is really a fundamental thing. And I think this just ties in, and it goes together with the fact that there are going to be some games when your offense can't get any runs on the board. And this was a game of one-run ball. That's where you're trying to play for one run and prevent it, and both teams know that one run is likely, but not absolutely positive, but likely to decide the outcome of the game, and that's exactly the way it was yesterday. So just these late inning games, and Rogers couldn't hold it, and I honestly, in the Giants relievers, that's really a little bit more of what I'm looking for, more than just their earned run average, which, as helpful as a statistic as that can be, it doesn't really tell everything about whether the team is winning or losing games. But the point is that this was a game really wasted because not only was Logan Webb pitching, but he was very effective. And that's the time when the team needs to seal the deal and win. In saying all of this, I'm not ruling out the possibility of a late or mid-season hot streak that will get the Giants back into this. I think that as long as they're kind of holding on right now, I think there's a high possibility that they will get it figured out later in the season and get back into playoff contention. But if they do that, they're going to have to stay consistent when the time does come. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.